Hello guys, and welcome to a new Star Division Normandy 44 video today by me, Vulcan. In this one I have for you a 4 versus 4 on Colleville, and I'm going to be playing with the 91st Luftlande on the Axis side. Wanted to show off this replay because it was a great demonstration of how effective the 91st Luftlande can be, particularly in the air, so that's what we're going to be focusing on today. Let me just take you through what I placed down at the start. So I've got a couple of AIRFORCE, one's going to be protecting the left side here, just kind of covering the front line for us. One's going to be heading into the town with 4 Fallschirmjäger units. I've got 4 of these heading up in the Opel Blitz. I've got a bunch of AT guns, so I've got a Pack 40 here that's going to be covering the main road. I've got, I believe, Pack 38s on either side. We're going to be covering out the open areas. Then I've got a Fallschirmpanzerabwehr. I've got a 50mm mortar and another AIRFORCE on the right hand side. So my plan was to deploy short. I've also got an MG back here and kind of cover the road as much as possible. But I noticed that I'm up against Musial, so we're going to be playing against the Demi Brigade SAS, which means a lot of FFI units to begin with. So Fallschirmjägers unloaded and ready to go. I had them on, one of them on return fire, just to make sure that it didn't reveal itself unnecessarily initially. But just getting my bearings, going to get my Fallschirmpanzerabwehr to move up so that I can get a Panzerschreck onto the half track, and I'm going to start to slowly but surely move my Fallschirmjäger forwards. This Fallschirmjäger does take a burst from the MG of the half track, which definitely pins it down quite quickly since the half track is 2 vet. My Fallschirmpanzerabwehr, they're going to be able to get into the building, get a Panzerschreck on target, and I managed to take it out, which was really nice. Then I realised that the Fallschirmpanzerabwehr, well, they're also pretty good in close combat, so going to be trying to kill off the F5 partisans there, and the 4 MP40s that they have with a 2 vet, also able to do a significant amount of damage to the FFI rallies. So getting off to a pretty good start. The Fallschirmjägers providing really good long-range support with the double MG34. Ideally, I should have had them a little bit closer, get them into the 300 meter range, because then they could have put down all of their HE damage. But it was okay. So just trying to finish off the F5 rallies there. With them being pinned down, the Fallschirmpanzerabwehr can just hit them all day long. There is a couple of like F5 tractions moving up. I managed to hit another one with the Fallschirmpanzerabwehr before they unload, so that was great. It turned out that they were FFI saboteurs, so I'm going to want to stay away from them with my Fallschirmpanzerabwehr so they don't get the TNT to the face. Now, one thing I did do at the start is I had my 50mm mortar deployed further back, and I realised that it wasn't in range, because these 50mm mortars, they're not 81mm mortars, right? They only have 700 meter range, so you've got to get them pretty damn close in order to actually be effective with them. But once I do get them close enough, well, they're fantastic for pinning down enemy units out of line of sight. So dropping the 50mm mortar fire onto the F5 rallies, and I'm going to be trying to jump my Fallschirmjäger forwards so that we can try and pin these down and surrender them. Meanwhile on the right, now it turns out that was a Pack 36 there. Yeah, both of these Pack 36s, not Pack 38s that I mentioned already at the start. I was trying to get shots off on the right, but coming under fire now from the B1 BIS. This thing has its main gun and also the howitzer on the front of it, so a little bit difficult for us to deal with. Also the Hotchkiss now firing away onto my position, which is not great either. We managed to pin down the F5 rallies, just need to be careful not to get pinned by the Panards that have moved up, as well as the B1 of course. The other thing about this is I can get my Panzerfaust on target, so that was another reason I was jumping in and out here. And I'm going to be able to get the Panzerfaust onto the Panhard, and the Pack 40, I believe, killed the B1 for us. So that was really, really nice. Now I've got to try and pin down the Jibber, because that's what's preventing me from surrendering the rallies at the moment. Meanwhile on the left though, the Fallschirmjäger just freely hitting the saboteurs, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to continue to move forwards the Pack 36 here and the 50mm mortars so we can keep things pinned down. I finally managed to get rid of the rallies. bump into some Makassars and more rallies. So got a little bit of work to do, but I do have the off map in position here, just trying to get it back over from the left to the right because of the Panhard coming in on the left side. That is going to get hit by the Puma, I assume that was, or maybe the Pack 38 there. Oh no, it's Taki's Pack 38 just here. Yeah, the Jedbird just trying to kill it off, because if I can get rid of it, then that's less veterancy for Monsieur's units. Allows my Fallschirmjägers to have a much better time. Ideally, I should have had my own leader further forwards, because these would have been 3 vet, but I'm not even sure if I had any in the deck. I can't remember. Okay, time to get the off-map into position anyway, and that will allow me to try and advance through the town. Because whilst the Allies did have an advantage early on, we've managed to get it back to 50-50 for the time being, or at least it's 51 to 49, probably due to this salient right here. The Fallschirmjäger's doing well, doing more damage to rallies, taking a little bit of suppression from the half track, but since they're in heavy cover, it's not too bad. Right, here come my leaders. So yeah, I did have the leaders available. And I've also got another Fallschirmjäger. So the Makassars coming in to reinforce, still engaging the Fallschirmjägers, but the trouble that he's having is a lot of his infantry depends on like close range engagement. So like the FFI saboteurs, they get their HE grenades off, and that's the main way that they do damage. The Makassars, they rely quite heavily on their multiple submachine guns, so the Stens and the MP40s, so they want to be closer, and at range they just don't quite have that same HE, right? They've got 2 HE, Fallschirmjäger's got like 14, so it's a big difference. And this Fallschirmjäger does get a bit low. I believe it gets caught out by one of the TNTs. I unfortunately let that one get hit. And again, due to this little temporary salient here, the Allies are getting that +1 on the map. But we're making some good progress through the town, and I'm about to drop down the off map, so that's going to come in 25 seconds. And I've got these Ersatztruppen ready to take advantage of any units that are pinned down. So I'm going to pin down all of the units with the off map, and then drive forwards as quickly as possible with the Ersatztruppen. Now my Fallschirmführer Ehrlich, which is the ace leader and the ace Fallschirmführer, does get bombed off really fast. One thing about ace units in Steel Division Normandy 44, it's really funny because they always seem to get targeted. Like, even though technically an ace unit is not any better than a normal unit, they always get targeted first. Anyway, Ehrlich went down. The off-map landed quite nicely, but unfortunately the F5 saboteurs here didn't get hit by it. But I'm still able to move forwards because you saw the Jedburgh kill pop up on the side of the screen, and that meant that there's no leadership for any of these units here, so my Ersatz able to just drive on through, and I get an even better position further up. I just got to deal with the F5 saboteurs, which are chilling behind my lines, but that's 3 surrendered units there. Really nice. My Ersatz can't do anything against the half-track, unfortunately. And I actually can't do anything about this Panhard. So I do have a Panzer 35 on the way to help out with these sort of light armoured vehicles at closer ranges. And I'm slowly but surely killing off the saboteurs here. So that one dies, this one surrenders. Job done. Hotchkiss going to be annihilating my Ersatztruppen. They're going to do a runner down the road. That's chilling in the hedgerow there. This game does still look really, really beautiful. Anyway, one of the 50mm mortars ends up getting caught out through the open area between the trees. We're going to be able to get another one to start firing, and the Fallschirmjägers help pin it down in the meantime. So just trying to finish that off and maintain my position in the town. I do have 2 more strikes left on the 210mm off map. Just gotta find ways to break down this armor. That's like the main thing right now. So I'm getting the Pack 40 in position. Try and take out the Panzer 3 at least. Gonna be dodging the bomb from the Spitfire. Nice little dodge there. And you're probably wondering why I don't have any AA yet, and it's mainly because bombers and such in Star Division aren't as much of an issue unless you're looking at like big late game bombers. So there, for example, I was confident that I could dodge the bomb. Some buildings you can't do it very easily, but this is quite a large building, so it's easy to get out of the way. Panzer 35 does kill off the enemy unit there, but we've got the Western Lysander coming in now with the bombs. So I'm going to have to shoot that down. So the first of the ME-109s is going to be arriving, the ME-109 G6, and I shoot that out the sky. Stop it doing more damage to my Pak 40, although it did enough in pinning it down to stop it killing the Panzer III. Then with the ME-109 they're going to be strafing the rallies, allowing the Ersatztruppen to continue their engagement. So got some Fallschirm Panzer Abwehr on the way, we've got a couple more Panzer 35s. You can see that this is in response to a problem with the armour, trying to deal with the Panzer III, trying to deal with the half-track in order to make more ground. Just trying to sequentially move forwards with all of my troops and try and make some ground. I've still got my ME-109 flying about, just in case he wants to use the Spitfires. As long as this ME-109 is in the sky, it can't attack, well, they can't really use the Spitfire. And even here, luckily for me, ME-109 going to get on the back of J-Dog Spitfire Mark 9, and they get a free Spitfire kill there, so that was great. And another Spitfire going to be coming in to try and return the favour, and I'm going to be trying to micro that to get on the back of the enemy Spitfire. All the while, get rid of the half-track, managed to get rid of the Hotchkiss, so that was good. And I'm still trying to micro this duel. But in the end, I believe I decided to just get it out of there because of the fuel problems. Come in for one last turn. Did manage to get it on the back. Oh, there we go. Runs out of fuel. And it gets out of there. So yeah, I didn't end up deciding to. It just J-Dog lucky that it did. Because otherwise I would have had enough time on target there to probably kill it off. Panzer 35 versus Panzer III. These little boys coming around the corner there. I've also got this one here firing at it as well. Just trying to pretty much overwhelm the Panzer III, look for that low penetration chance kill onto that vehicle. I've got the Kubel munition truck coming up, since my 50mm mortars are doing pretty well for us, and I want to get them resupplied. The other thing is, I want to resupply the Fallschirmjäger, but then I ended up moving on the Fallschirmjäger further forwards. The Fallschirmjäger providing a lot of damage throughout this game so far. Really doing a great job against the partisan infantry. Get the crew knockout onto the Panzer III. So I managed to triple team the Panzer III once more. Struggling to get the penetration in there. Lots of misses, bounces. The transmission damage even there, as you can see. Not quite able to finish the job. Now we have moved into Phase B. Musial does have access to these two units. The SAS have finally arrived. HS-129 though. On the right, I believe I did kill like a Centaur out here with that HS-129. And these HS-129s, they are really, really useful. And they're pretty damn tanky as well. So here I'm bringing it in to fire at J-Dog's Cromwell on the left side. It's going to take quite a lot of hits from the AA, but I'm just going to be falling it back there and no problemo. Spitfire, meanwhile, coming in with a bombing strike onto the Panzer 35s. He's trying to stop them from supporting against the SAS Chasseur Para, and then also against the Panzer III here that I was also trying to get rid of. I do manage to force both of those SAS back, so that was great. And on the left, another HS-129. But looking for the Cromwell kill. Get the engine destroy, which is a good crit because it's going to give Taki all the time in the world to finish it off. I also managed to get my ME-109 in time to kill the Typhoon. Another really good kill. Going to be flying myself away from the AA that was shooting me, ready to take down the Western Lysander here. You can see I'm microing it the whole time, just to make sure that I can get it in the right position to get this kill. Some more infantry going to be ordered in. I'll go for the Western Lysander kill. Unfortunately, not able to get enough work done there. But I move the Fallschirmjäger out the building so that they don't get hit. And then the AA from Taki forces it back. My ME-109 also managed to get out alive, only just. Took a lot of damage in the process. So these are all pioneers. They are coming in to support the push through the trees, as I was being pushed on at close range by the enemy infantry. So the plan was to like mortar those and get the Fallschirmjäger to engage, and then I can have the pioneers come in and clean this out. So I don't really want to be engaging directly the Makazars before they're pinned down, so that's kind of why the mortars are important there. On the right, yeah, the F5 rally is causing a little bit of an issue against my Ersatztruppen. Pack 36 still trying to shoot the Panzer III. This Panzer III was being invulnerable this game. It was nuts. Sometimes this happens with units where they just survive way longer than they should, particularly under a lot of fire, and he even manages to kill the Pack 36 with the HE round, so yeah, pretty nuts. Anyway, 50 more mortar going to help pin down that infantry unit that was shooting my ersatz. And the pioneers finally arriving. I've also got a bombing strike coming in there onto the Fallschirmjäger, unfortunately, so take a little bit of damage. But the Panzer III taking more shots from the Panzer 35, still alive, and gonna get out as smoke comes down on top of it. I've also got a load of these, I believe there's Ersatztruppen arriving to help me out. We're still in a good position here, like getting to the far side of the town. Nice salient is helping nullify the push that Tunis has done here. So Fallschirmjäger going to be engaging the SAS. And on the right, just got to get rid of the F5 rally. It's going to be moving the Ersatztruppen through the tree line there. Now, you might wonder why all of these stopped. It's because I've placed my next off map. So in Steel Division Normandy 44, one thing that is generally seen more often is like large surrenders and like people using their abilities to pin down the enemy and then surrender stuff. Well, turns out Musil had the same idea. And the Demi Brigade SAS get a pretty nasty off map. I believe this was actually from the first SSB. Regardless, the rocket off map's coming down, and it is pinning down pretty much everything that I have. The only saving grace at the moment is that I've got my own off map coming down here, so he can't charge up the road like I was going to do to him. And yeah, my Panzer 35s are not having a fun time. The invulnerable Panzer 3s getting kills onto my Panzer 35s. And here comes the Morris LRC, which is going to surrender 1 unit, 2 unit. My Ersatztruppen obviously in a bad spot. And what can I do to save it? But here comes the ME-109s. I'm going to lose my 50mm mortar and another Ersatztruppen. And those two are going to save the day. Stop them just driving all the way through, which they very much could have with that Morris LRC. It was very close to being complete disaster, but it has been a huge setback regardless. You know, I lost a lot of units. I lost my panzers, I lost my pack, I lost my infantry. Thankfully, the Fallschirmjäger here, they survived behind enemy lines and they killed the Panzer III. The Fallschirmpanzer Abwehr ambushed some of the infantry, so forcing him to unload. So yeah, it worked out in the end, but I was bricking it, I'm not gonna lie. When that off map came down, I was like, oh no, I have made a grave mistake. Again, Fallschirmpanzer Abwehr coming in clutch, killing the stat count there, and the Me-109 is going to be strafing the FFI rallies to death. So yeah, crazy stuff. HS-129 coming in again, this time to kill another Panzer III, and I managed to clean that one up nicely. Try and get my BF-109 or Me-109 over to the left-hand side on Spitfire. Not quite able to do the job. HS-129, I decided to just leave because the Spitfires were trying to focus it briefly. But once again, all these Pioneers getting pinned down, forced back, unfortunately. Not much I can do there. And we're now getting pushed on pretty hard by this infantry. So, going to just be dropping my off-map here. To slow down, Monsieur, give myself time to recover. Because I'm in a pretty bad spot after that off-map came down. Ideally shouldn't have really been letting my Fallschirmpanzer Abwehr be shot here for free by the Makassars. And I do lose the Pioneer there. That's all going to come down to how much damage I can do with this off-map, and Monsieur's bringing in some extra units here that are moving straight into that off-map, so I'm relatively happy with the placement. Also got another HS-129 hanging about. You can see I'm sending that off to the left side. And I've got an Me-109 that's looking to shoot down the Western Lysander. Here comes the off-map. My Ersatz-Truppen are going to be trying to chase them down. So I get the Me-109 to go for the 25mm. HS-129 here takes out the Cromwell. Also looking to kill the Crusader AA, get rid of the AA there, so that my HS-129s can have a better time. This constant harassment is certainly helping Taki get the better of J-Dog on this left-hand side. So I didn't really capitalise as much as I could have on the off-map here, because I didn't have any units in transports that were able to charge forwards and move through what would have been the surrendered units. So instead we're just going to have to do this the old-fashioned grind way. Thankfully, that big rocket off-map you see only has one charge. And there's only one off-map vehicle I think you can get. So I didn't have to worry about dealing with that again. But nice bombing strike does hit my Pack 40. He also kills off one of my mortars. So removing some of my support units that I'm going to need for the rest of the game. So certainly an even fight so far. We're back to 50-50 with 17 minutes left on the clock, 267 points in favour of the Allies. So we do need to get some work done. Anyone on the right coming in with a double strafing run to help out Gingift. Makassar's going to be going down in the town though, and shot coming in from the Pack 40. Help on this right hand side against the Pack 38. Ersatz-Truppen did find that. Gonna be trying to take it out. Right, next HS-129 is on its way. And that's going to be targeting the already damaged Crusader AA, so that I can potentially hang about and kill some more. The Crusader AA on the left there, already stressed out. Going to be getting that Crusader AA. Probably could have targeted this one with the way it turned, but going to be get forced back, and yeah, it comes under a lot of fire, but these things are very tanky. So no problem against a Crusader AA Mark II. MG34 trying to help out against the infantry on the right hand side, and on the HS-129 coming in to engage the M4A3 here. Managed to get one good hit, but no kill. Fortunately, it then gets forced back by enemy AA. I've now brought in my 88 on the right hand side. I've got the Me-109 hanging about. ME-109 with the BR-21 rockets going to be hitting this tree line. That will enable my ersatz to push in there and get that position under our control. Tempest coming in from Musial. Definitely very scary. 2-star Tempest can kill enemy aircraft very fast indeed. Now with my 2 88s here, no problem. I had to unload this one early just to stop that Tempest from getting too close. Anyway, we can see the ersatz Strippen trying to capitalize on the rocket that was here before. One man does go down, but we managed to get the surrender onto the saboteurs at least. And they're going to be trying to kill off the PAC-38, which is pretty much defenseless there now. Spitfires coming in. Going to be able to force them back, but they did manage to get their bombs off. The 2 Pioneers there really struggling still. These Pioneers that I brought in for this left side, they were just having a really bad time throughout the whole game. From when they come in to when they die, it were just walking forwards, getting pinned, forced back, walking forwards, getting pinned, forced back, over and over and over again. Anyway, the ersatz has done a good job to get through there. Bit of a clutch ersatz. And in order to support it, I have brought in a strafing run from the ME-109 G6s. And that's going to help it to do even better. We finally found ourselves a +1. Taki making good ground with his King Tigers. These AT guns are going to really struggle to break through that 21 front armor as he continues to make ground here. Takes out the other AT gun. It's going to open up the ground for the Panzer IV and the 231. Nice internal fragments onto that unit. It's going to take that out of action. And meanwhile, my PAC-40 was looking for the shot onto the AA, but almost gets killed itself. Right, more strafing runs coming in onto the tank busters and the commando leader. PAC-40 did end up dying in the town as well. Yeah, C-Fire's chasing me off. I'm going to be able to put down some fire from the 88s at least. Double HS-129 on the way. So big problem I have at the moment is these M4A3s. So looking to try and take those out. Managed to take out one, the one on the right, too stubborn to die. But every kill is making these HS-129s pay themselves off just that little bit more, and it's really, really good. PAC-30, or the Flak 36, helping against the SAS Globe FM. The rally is going to finish off my ersatz trip. My heroic ersatz finally going down. In order to deal with future M4s, I have brought up the Stug, the 2-star Stug. And that's going to be able to do a lot of damage against Shermans for us. I've now also got more off-map available. So 380mm off-map coming in to get revenge for the big old rocket strike. Technically I started the off-map war, but hey, gotta finish it, I suppose. So, getting some nice damage. Waiting for it to hopefully pin this SAS Globe FM. And then I can have the Pioneer unit here surrender them. At least that was the plan. What I opt to do in the end is so that he doesn't jump in there and kill my Pioneer. Is just unload here and take the SAS Globe FM and the Makassar kill with the surrenders. On the left, Taki's steamroller really starting to get going. He's got a really good position here on the left hand side. And his King Tigers are perfect for when he gets into the open range. There's another internal fragments there actually as well. 88 still dealing with the SS Group FM. I've got more Pioneers on the way. I've got Armada 2 on the way. But very much on focusing on trying to push through the town here. Just seeing these like King Tigers do their job is incredible. Just wiped out the Achilles. So ME-109 coming in for the SAS Chasseur Para. One nice thing about those rockets is they fire really far away from their target, so the AA doesn't really have time to stop them. The HS-129 here, that was looking for the kill onto the Staghound. The Staghound tried to retreat and then got hit by the LG, so that worked out. And now I've got the HS-129 going for the M4s. So looking for this one that's out in the open, managed to get that one really quickly. And then I'm going to be looking for the second one as well. C-fire, really good timing. Coming in, trying to shoot down the HS-129, but the HS-129 being tanky as ever, and then double ME-109 shooting it down. So we're going to be continuing to build our air lead, and with every fighter that I take out the sky without losing my own, leaves me in a very, very nice position, because you can see there I'm even coming in, laying down a little bit of suppression with the strafing run onto these infantry, and that helps Taki's forces move through from the left side and continue to flank Musial. Over here, look at what's happened. Taki's units have completely smashed open J-Dog's front line. The double King Tiger really doing a ton of work, making it really hard for J-Dog to fight back. Unfortunately, my Stug didn't really do what I hoped it would against the M4 initially. It ended up taking a penetration, or at least like a crit, but it did end up killing it in the end. I do unfortunately lose a unit there before it unloads. These are Fusiliers actually, yeah. Because by this point in the game, with like 8 minutes left on the clock, I believe I was getting like relatively low on like decent line infantry, so I started relying on the Fusiliers because they are kind of set up like line infantry squads. Just got to get rid of the SAS Chasseur Para. I do just manage to before the bombs come in, because otherwise that would have easily been a triple surrender. Well, I say that. Technically not, because of the Fallschirmjäger. But nice snipe from the 88. Does kill off one of the Spitfires, so that was great. Meanwhile, on this side, HS-129 coming in again to help the other players on my team. And I managed to use it to bait in the C-fire and shoot down the C-fire. So that was really, really nicely done. The C-fires really struggle in this game because I think they lack cannons in order to... I think they have like a couple of cannons, but it's not really like enough. Like Hispanos in this game don't do as much as they do in Steel Division 2. And yeah, the BF-109 getting on the back nice and easy, gets the job done. We're up to 57% now. And Taki's still making a little bit of ground here, just got to get through this next line of hedgerows. But more off map coming in, 380 mil once again, looking for the next strike there. As at Stropen, going to be finding themselves some tank busters on the right hand side. Got the Fallschirmpanzer there to cover off against enemy vehicles. It's another Sherman going down. Taki here. The Sherman 5s are just really hating life against the King Tigers. Yeah. Not great. Meanwhile, my Marder was firing HE on this right hand side quite a bit at the enemy artillery. But here comes the off map. Looking to pin down these armoured units and get my infantry to push forwards. My Stug did end up dying to this M4, unfortunately. I didn't really have a vehicle that could charge up and clean them out. But I do have this infantry squad on the way, it's just a little bit too late. Anyway, Taki is still making fantastic ground on the left, even flanking in to the right hand side, which is great because it's allowing me to get a lot of pressure here onto Musial. Artillery is going to force back my Marder. I'm going to get a pin onto the armoured rifles though to stop them from doing their bazooka stuff. And then meanwhile, HS-129 on the right, cleans up 2 M4DDs, so helping everywhere now. Gives the AIRFORCE a little bit of respite as they try to push on forwards. And then the Hellcat coming in as well, and the MA-109's gonna be in range to even shoot that down. True air dominance this game, it really was. Stug now taking shots at the M4A3. M4A3 out of range, shoot back, so gonna have to move that out the way. Now I've got motorcycles coming in, look at that. You know how desperate it's got when I'm bringing in motorcycles. I say that. Motorcycles in Stud Division Normandy 44, they can provide decent suppression. So that's kind of what they're here for, just to suppress so the Ersatztruppen can run forwards and surrender anything it needs to. And meanwhile, Pioneers get a nice grenade off onto the enemy unit there. And on the left, I rocket the rifles. And I was looking for the kill onto the Spitfire. I believe that like auto-evac'd. So I had to bring in the ME-109 to finish it off. So I get the Seafire, we get the P-38, another 2 kills for my BF-109s. And would you look at that? The motorcycle's actually being useful. They find an F-5 Saboteur that was behind my lines, and it helps me kill them off. And we're back up to, well, we're on the +2 now, 59% territory, as Taki just cleans house on the left side now. Like, it was 50-50 for so long. J-Dog was holding really well, but I think with my little bit of pressure here and there with the HS-129s, and then his, like, Deck's inability to deal with, like, King Tigers very well, made it really hard for him. Stug still absolutely failing me. My Stugs in general in this game just really didn't do what they were supposed to. I should have probably moved my Fallschirmjäger across so I had a bit of veterancy on that. I'm actually having to rely really heavily on my HS-129, so I've got that one coming in for the M4 there. Unfortunately that one's going to get forced back. ME-109 coming in again for the rocket strike onto the armoured rifles, going to be getting that down to 2 health. I've got the Marder here engaging the Sherman, but that's going to be forced back due to that stress. Marders, because they have low armor, when an AP shell lands next to them, it actually causes them a lot of stress. Pioneers getting pinned down, M4 really putting a lot of work into that Pioneer. Marder just trying to get it out of line of sight. And in the meantime, I'm going to be moving across the Fallschirmpanzer Abwehr, see if we can ambush it. The nice thing about Panzerschrecks in this game is they actually have a longer range than you expect. And since the Sherman's going to move behind the tree line here, well, the Fallschirmjäger are going to be able to get the shot off onto the Sherman 5. But miss, so it's going to be falling back, but it doesn't fall back far enough. The Fallschirmjäger are going to be coming up there and getting the next shot off. Off map hits really well back here. You can see I was getting a couple of extra kills. Managed to get a weapon jam with another shot from the Panzerschreck. Not able to quite finish it off yet, but struggling to fall back properly. Finally get the kill. With my off map coming down, Taki moves forwards his half track, gets a few surrenders in there as well, which was really good. And now there's only 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock. And we have a pretty decisive point lead. With Taki even cutting off the far left spawn. So that's worked out really well for him. That's what's allowed him to flank from left to right. What am I going to do? More HS-129s. Bringing this in to engage the Sherman. Get that out the way for Genjeft. Just about managed to finish it off. Got another one coming in for the M10 and also the off-map vehicle. The Hellcat does manage to clean up one of my HS-129s. The Hellcat there. I was hoping I could kill it off with the ME-109. I just about managed to do so before the half-track forces me back. So yeah, again, just more kills in the air. More kills on the ground from the HS-129s. Now going for the M10 on the right-hand side here. Just incredibly oppressive throughout the game. And with 40 minutes past, that's going to be a minor victory for our team. And I managed to get a hell of a score. Taki beat me by 75 points. He also had a much better KD. Only 930 losses. We ended up the game with 4,900 kills and 1,735 losses. Most of those probably due to the off-map help and the off-map back and forth throughout the game. But yeah, check out this Falcon Panzer Avia. Absolute Chad. It survived for most of the game and killed so much stuff. Very, very nice. That was the one that at the beginning killed the half-track and the partisans, and then it saved us against like the Panhard and the Morris LRC, and then it snuck forwards, killed a Staghound and an M15, like champion. The off-map itself killed a decent chunk of units, and the Panzer 35 certainly helped me out, but check out the ME-109 kills there. Western Lysander, Spitfire, Typhoon, 2 Seafires, a Lightning and a Hellcat. I also strafed to death the rallies there, so picked up that kill as well. The HS-129B3 got 2 Centaurs, a Cromwell and 2 M4s. This HS-129 got a Panzer III, Crusader AA, the M4, the Sherman 5 and the M10. This off-map, the 380mm off-map, certainly demolished a lot of AA that Monsieur had. HS-129 again there with another M4 kill. And yeah, just another ME-109 with the Hellcat and the Seafire. Absolute air dominance from the 91st Luftlande. And that combined with their decent infantry and strong off-map is really how this game, or how this division is meant to play. So it worked out to a T. And a very, very fun game. Very close for the first like 20 plus minutes. And then after that like sort of 25-minute mark, we just collapsed their front line and it just went from bad to worse. Really, really fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.